Hello, Crawlites. Hope you're all enjoying yourself. Jordan asked me to do a little video read of a short story. Joe Polar here, by the way. So I snooped around to see what I had that was short. This is a quiet little weird tale, partially inspired by Robert Aikman. It's called Wind and Rain and Umbrellas. A few minutes of rain, downward, a heavy punch that won't last long. It bends you by degrees. After a quarter of an hour where it seemed the rain may have exhausted itself, conditions are suddenly, once again, infiltrated by horrible, and the rain continues its composition. Your behavior, how you put together your motives, wishes it were out in the country, or you were inside, somewhere dry and lacking this forecast of tears. First umbrella. Forced by a solution she couldn't paint, Claire, rushing from her spinster-packed dollhouse, set to sea. Claire, sudden, work, waiting to consume, out of time under a mask with no swerve immune from risk, and no easy. Wind happening, difficult, exhausting, and her umbrella is gone into misfortune. Claire's future, short on clarity, does not see the automobile suddenly chasing work. Dead skunks and other wilder fare glare on backcountry roads. Town and country no one writes songs to is what's chopped down. Second umbrella, group of teenagers, came from, done it, ticks and furiously, hard Pharaoh's breath passed between them, pack and bottle snapping crime. Woman's coming out of a corner bar, one step over a puddle, another hoping to make it across the river-skinned street, another arms rowing quicker, spinning with all the dry she could bring, and quicker, hoping to set foot on a continent with a tongue of its own. Splash and decibels of rain clash with what her foot doesn't see. The woman fears robbery or rape, can smell it happening, interrupting. The wind, a gust 91 miles an hour, rips her umbrella from her grasp. As she turns to view the crime, it's a half a block away. The teens rush past, laugh, in tones learned from the laws of the sun. Then on who will claim the prize. Third umbrella, passage under street lamps, holes in it, drip, 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 drip. His hair and brow are soaked, wondering when the hell the dog is going to go so they can return to a dry towel and hot coffee. He'll promise he's replacing the umbrella ASAP, but he'll forget again. Fourth umbrella, classic cane, black, designed by M. Vitus of Ostrava. Coverage arc diameter 50 inches. Close length 35 inches. Weight 1 pound 8 ounces. 190 thread count microweave fabric. Waterfall dome shaped canopy. There is no punishment to it. It fits the hand well. Fifth umbrella. Graveside tears. Miss Alicia Graves has been crying for days. Alberto Alomar was a good lover, and he could also cook many dishes masterfully. And he was quiet, not to mention very polite in affable ways. In the 9 months they were together, he was never drunk or sick, and his footsteps took up no room in her mirror. She will cry for many more days. Wind. Shredding, no protocol. By the donut shop, by the tinker, jolts, there, hits, continues, pushing today from its location. No form, no shadow, no flaws or words to portion and decipher in its steps. Not out for a walk. Can't muzzle it and tie it to the fire hydrant outside Kim's video, while you dash inside to grab a copy of last year at Marienbad for Leonard's 40th. The yes or no smudges of your crayons do not frighten. not interested in solving mysteries or the clumps of your lines written out, punctuated with your weekday forms, roped together with scraps of knotted babbling and wet with quick. Would never consider stopping in Moshi's for a Reuben with a pickle and slaw on the side after a boho reading of Salon and Trackle by a Martian Ferlinghetti type with both eyes on the red-headed documentarian in the little black Chanel, who swears she's close pals with Tilda Swinton. Bubbling with chemistry, homeless, the wind goes. Sixth, seventh, and eighth umbrella. Loneliness and guilt, playing the Elvis Costello he never plays when other people are around. Drank for 2 hours, turned the lights of his escapades off. He took the pills, slit his wrist the proper way, closed his eyes, hoping to forget the protocols of ugliness. Let the lying carnivorous stars hunt someone else. 11 mourners, all uniformly dressed in black, every gesture and shadow of appetite bared. 3 appear headless, somehow fitting under their black umbrellas. 2 wear corpse paint. 3 had applied zombie makeup. 6 shed tears. They'll drink what the deceased like to drink. Some will gulp it down. Their lips will embrace the fire of laughter during Princess Nikki Noir versus the horrors of the top-secret goblet unit of BOOBS, the deceased's favorite softcore horror comedy. And over pizza, salty snacks, and beer, they'll watch several more horror films in his honor. One, Skeletal Count Sadus, will bitch about the cool shit in his apartment, and how it will be lost when his parents and or older sister clean it out. Fuck, he had copies of Wilston Street and Begotten on DVD. They go for big bucks on eBay. Even clean used copies are 300-400 each. There will be no talk of mutations or the cosmos itself. No one will remember the raindrops falling upon the casket or the fragrance of black within it. Day after tomorrow, Alicia Graves will hear of her cousin's self-inflicted departure. She, under her black umbrella, will return to the graveyard and shed more graveside tears. She will then return home to her small second-floor apartment above the street corner girls, and clamped in despair, loneliness, and familial guilt, drink. Ninth umbrella. Danny's was red, no stripes. Danny doesn't like stripes. Doesn't like his sister either. Danny only took the red umbrella from the umbrella stand as it was his sister's. And today, with all this wind, he wondered if he could fly it on the end of its kite string. Danny giggled and quickly agreed when the weather woman who brings the wind swooped down from the chimneys and asked to borrow the kite. Danny thinks the weather woman who brings the wind is more beautiful than the ladies on TV that Dad says are hot. One day he's going to ask her why she never wears shoes. 10th umbrella. Passage under street lamps. Gray interrupted by the memory of her face that night. Her lost face, lost home, lost soul. No open clearing of forget in this vampiric aftermath of guilt and fail. No boat to Little Maryland. No umbrella. Some immeasurable duration in it. If he were a seaman or a whaler or a surfer, or if he sought cause and form in the transcendental limitless of the sea, like Niels in his diligent circle of seafarers, perhaps he wouldn't mind the pounding away. Fuck. He fears drowning before his bus arrives. Window. The legion breath of the outside world, with its life and hours, and its wild, untranslated possible pointing out. The beauty and passions in every direction is not allowed here. He never stands at the window when the lips and fingernails of the sun seek to red sea. But when the panes of glass carry the erasing eagerness of a storm, he's drawn to it. The small black and white television, new when this was Tom Jones, had its debut on ABC in 1969, is never off in its flat. The volume is never more than a fading whisper in the room of constant pipe tobacco smoke. The poignancy of music is never allowed here. Since the moment he stepped into this room on October 17, 1969, there has never been a beautiful young woman with violet eyes in this room. Not a kiss. No duet ending in reaching. Very little mail comes into his pristine flat. He has no cat, no dog, no bird. Never has. He has over 5,000 books on history, yet not a one has local history as its subject matter. Books where words move forward with their come on and toward unfurled are not allowed to bend his calendar. Planning a spring wedding, she had furnished this apartment for them as Quezon was embraced, mortar for mortar, tackled bullshit for meat, worse for worse, by the hawks of Tet, and he, just another drafted grunt, sick of the hard strike E5s and kaboom, kaboom, kaboom negations that put kids or their parts on stretchers or in bags, prayed and begged and pleaded with the Almighty to make it home. She hung the curtains, picked out the sofa, painted, dusted, to deny him worries, arranged everything just so. He came back to the shapes and circulation of the world, to his letters to her. She had saved every one. Came back to cut short. One evening, shortly after returning from the Nam, he opened a drawer in the bedroom dresser and took out a lace nightie she had bought for their planned honeymoon. He sat on the bed with it in one hand, her picture in the other. He cried. In the wee small hours he folded it exactly as she had and placed it back in the drawer with his love letters to her. He has never opened the drawer a second time. Stateside, just a few days and a few hours into his readjustment, he was flying over Cincinnati on his way home to Schenectady, New York, with his bride-to-be. She had just put a pumpkin pie, his favorite, in the oven when the aneurysm ruptured. She, sometimes a white ship in the room he cannot touch, had turned 21 3 days before. It poured on the day of her funeral. He did not attend. He stood at the window, gulping, trembling, bitter and unable to make a sound. He noted the thoroughly ancient number 8 bus that ran along Uphill River Road and stopped at the corner below his window every 30 minutes. No one got on, no one got off. 11th umbrella. Maryland. Sans the momentary cure of last night's waltz. Maryland. Not near the old neighborhood, but she was last Saturday night. Maryland wants to be over the bridge. Maryland never likes it when the sky cries. Maryland, 5'8", slender, shaking, exposed, has stood on this exact spot by the river many times. The last time was last Saturday night. Most often at the end of the day is when she stands there. She has never enjoyed what it radiates. No kiss of the ordinary world, no moon song, no one more for the road, or if I could, no use, no use. No poignant last dance piano music. She remembers him, young then, after lunch, watching him, his head down as if to impart a kiss, his fingers pleasing the colors of two together, listening to his enthusiasms produce the nocturnes on the piano, on the stage in the high school auditorium. Her temperature is up, her heart in a delirium of splendors. She can still taste the hollow prophecies. Marilyn throws her umbrella, $139, designed by M. Viz of Ostravia, into the rushing water. Rooftop. The weather woman who brings the wind and controls precipitation intensity and lightning and squall lines and pressure patterns, and where's Lowe's sail, and where Lowe's clear sits above luck and elves and misfortune and the rustlings of determined on a water-damaged chimney that has never been topped by the nest of a stork. Her icy fingers hold an item borrowed. It's been a chilly, sodden week, and her feet are sore, and she's sick of the smell of saturated streets. The weather woman who brings the wind has splashed and splashed, and capsized pips and captains, and the Sulphur Bridge. She's missing the altar glow of the sun and the warm dance of her silhouette. Thoughts of the beach warming her, she allows the young boy's umbrella to kite off, sail, tapped and blown back and tossed. Its voyage delights her. Yes, she says, Kylo's for dinner next week. I have to. As an appetizer, I'll have pan-fried oysters and Cajun halibut with prawns, asparagus, and I'll have a dirty martini. She'll be done with today, the holes and shapes, every hand that's been grounded, and home in a few hours. Rush hour at Union Square. Rain gaining in force. Downward, a heavy punch with no holes in it, no matter how hard you try to find one. Surrounded by water, not even half of the people in Union Square have umbrellas. 14 wish they did. 7 wish theirs had not broken in this torment. The weather woman on Channel 10 will not quote Ann Sexton, or Plath, or Delmore Schwartz, as her manicured finger presses the button to change the projections behind her. What she does, matter-of-factly, is promise tomorrow's forecast is as full of grayness and rain as today. Done with bleary, gray hollows and deadened air, at the end of her day she never listens to the shipwreck of northern complaint noisily snapping from the radio on the drive home. Without coming upon a single distraction, by 1 a.m. she'll have traveled from the television station to her residence in the thick pine forest that borders the far, far side of the city. Zephyr soft and gust quick, she'll slip out of her business wear and into a short, black silk kimono robe. As she reclines with an extra dry martini in her easy chair, her retainer, a small bespectacled creature with long, thin fingers, will kneel, and with great tenderness scented with illusions, massage her feet. With her fancies purring, the woman who brings the weather will begin planning the meteorological situations her viewers will be forced to encounter next week. But that's it. Like I said, hope you're all having a blast. Take care.